Simple Grammar, the complex sentence. See my videos on YouTube for more on grammar and American literature. The complex sentence. A complex sentence has one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. Here's an example. While we watched, Tasha filled the bowl. Let's look at what we have here. We watched is our subject-verb relationship. This is a clause, but we have it beginning with the word while, which is a subordinating conjunction. So that means that the clause beginning with a subordinating conjunction will be a dependent clause. It cannot stand alone as a sentence. If we were to put a period where this comma appears, this would be a fragment. The second part of the sentence reads, Tasha filled the bowl. Here we have a subject and we have a verb, and this part could stand alone as a sentence. Tasha filled the bowl could be a sentence all by itself. When we combine these, we have then one independent clause plus one dependent clause, and that gives us a complex sentence. Here's another example. We watched. Here's our basic subject verb, and notice that this is very similar to the previous sentence. Here's our dependent clause, while Tasha filled the bowl. Here's another subject-verb relationship, Tasha filled, but notice that this clause begins with a subordinating conjunction, while. So in this case, the second clause is going to be the dependent clause. The first clause is going to be the independent clause. It really does not matter what the order is. When you look at a complex sentence, the dependent clause can come at the beginning or at the end. It doesn't matter as long as the basic meaning of the sentence is not altered. Here we have some more examples of the complex sentence. In the first one, while the food cooked, this will be our dependent clause. Food is the subject, cooked is the verb, while is our subordinating conjunction. So this is a dependent clause. If we were to take out this comma and make this a period, we would have a fragment. This would be a fragment if we put a period right here. In the second part of this sentence, here's our subject, we, verb watched. We watched the game would be an independent clause. It could stand alone as a sentence. So we have one independent clause combined with one dependent clause, and this gives us a complex sentence. Here's a very similar sentence. We're really just turning around the clauses, changing the order. So we watched the game comes first now as our independent clause, while the food cooked is our dependent clause and comes at the end of the sentence now. It doesn't really matter. It's still a complex sentence no matter which clause comes first. Another example, when we return, our subject is we, our verb return. The word when is our subordinating conjunction, so this is our dependent clause. Here's our independent clause, we will finish. We can turn that around again. We will finish becomes our independent clause. Notice we could put a period here after finish, and this would be an independent clause and a complete sentence, a simple sentence. But in this case, it's joined to when we return, a dependent clause, and so we have again a dependent clause joined with an independent clause. This gives us a complex sentence.